So as we evolve up the spiritual ladder of evolution, you eventually realize that everything is revealed to you. It's not necessarily created by you, because let's face it, guys, it's already there. Everything's already there. It just has to be tapped into. So I want to go a bit deeper on this because I've been reflecting on this recently, about how when we reach these higher levels of awareness, we start to get rewarded, because it's a little bit like a game. So you beat a boss in a computer game, and then you go into a higher level, which is a little bit better than the level before. And this keeps happening. And every boss we beat, we go into a higher level. Eventually you start to get to levels where you can create your own game. You start to create your own reality rather than just being a victim to this reality, like a kind of a leaf in the wind. You start to control your own reality. And one of the ways that I found this happens is you start to get the ability to tap into any kind of consciousness, any kind of feeling that you wish to feel at will, because it's already there. So you've got like all these people in the world who are chasing a feeling, because everything's feelings ultimately, guys. Like everything's a feeling. Everybody's chasing a feeling. The only reason everybody's doing what they're doing is to chase a feeling. They think that if they do all these physical things, they work all these hours to build up enough money to get this specific car, that it's going to bring them a feeling. But another truth which the laws of the universe reveal is that when you get that feeling, the feeling doesn't last, because one of the main laws of the universe is the law of change, which means nothing's constant. So when you do eventually get this feeling, it just goes anyway after a few months, and then you're chasing something else and something else, which is the trap of the physical reality, which most people in the world, I would say probably 99.9% of people are in, where they're just constantly building, trying to get this specific feeling, and then it never ends, but they don't realize it never ends because they think they're going to have this feeling forever. So as you evolve into levels where you no longer need to build physically, okay, you no longer need to use that buffer system where you've got to build physically, buffer to get to this point where you reach this specific feeling. You eventually reach a point where that you already know that feeling's there, and you can just access it anytime you want. You can literally just access it and tap into it anytime you want, which is the level I've been on now for quite a few years. But it's very, very hard to explain to someone that that's possible when they haven't reached these higher levels of awareness yet, which is my question to you guys. Have you reached this level where you can just tap into anything at will, any feeling you want at will? And did you have to go through a lot of ups and downs, spiritual processes, wisdom and knowledge enhancement until you got to this level where you could tap into these feelings anytime you want? And this is where I want to go a little bit deeper with, guys, because if you have reached this level where you can just tap into any feeling you want instantly, you no longer need to do all these physical things to get the feeling. So I'm going to give a few examples of that. Let's say, for instance, you want to you've got an idea that you want a specific car, and the car is going to cost 20k to buy. So you do all this work for years, you do all this hustling to trying to get this money built up to eventually get this car. Now you'll eventually buy this car, and for 6 months you'll think it's amazing. It'll change your life for about 6 months, and then eventually the car just becomes the norm, and then the feeling goes, and then eventually you want a different car after a year or two, and you just start the process over and over again. Now, what I'm saying here is there's multiple layers of reality in that one experience, which people don't realize, because they'll spend so much time trying to get this specific car, not realizing that the feeling's not going to last. So what I'm saying is, an alternative that is, you could just buy a £200 car, okay, and when I say this, a lot of people will be like, well, why would you want a shitty £200 car that's going to look stupid and probably break down every 1,000 miles? Well, this is the thing where you get into the paradoxical nature of reality, because who's to say that £200 car is not going to be more fun than having a 20k car? Okay, and I'll give you the reason for that. The reason for that is, with the £200 car, you don't care if you reverse into a lamppost. You don't care. So that's the worry of damaging the car has already gone. So that's one worry gone. You don't care how much the car costs. It's probably going to be cheaper to insure. So that's another thing. It's going to be better financially. Another thing is you don't have to worry about buying a warranty for this car. You don't have to worry about the car breaking down, because if it does break down and it's unfixable, you don't care. You've paid £200 for the car. You can just scrap it and go and buy another car. Another aspect to this is you can just fly around in that car, treat it as a toy, and you don't really care. Like, it's just fun. It's a game, and life is a game. But you see, somebody who's not on this level of awareness yet will not realize these things, because they don't want to be seen. Okay, the ego is still at a level where they don't want to be seen in an old £200 car because they're still living externally, and they're just too worried about what other people think of them, and they're not internal enough to understand this. So when I'm talking about like levels of awareness where you can just tap into any feeling you like instantly just by closing your eyes and just imagining something, okay, this is what I do a lot. I can close my eyes and I can imagine I'm in a specific situation, etc., and then the feeling comes, and your mind doesn't know the difference. Okay, your body doesn't know the difference between imagining something and it really happening in reality. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference. So this is a level which I actually I earned this level via the spiritual process and via wisdom and via experimentation and all the spiritual aspects that I had to go through to learn this lesson. So what I'm saying is, can somebody who hasn't gone through this spiritual wisdom and who hasn't reached these higher levels have that kind of superpower to be able to do that? Because it is like a superpower to most people. Sorry about this, I've got paint on my hands. I've been painting all day, guys. It just looks ridiculous, but I had it on my face before, but I've had to rub it off. Can you get this? Can anybody just get this superpower where you can just tap into any feeling you want, anytime you want, so you no longer have to do it in the physical reality and have that buffer? Because the physical reality can get messy, guys. This is what I think Jesus called the kingdom of heaven is within. I'm not sure if he actually meant the same thing, but in my eyes, I think he was on the kind of level that I'm talking about here, guys, where the kingdom of heaven, everything is within you. You can just access it anytime you want at will. Because the nature of feelings, everything's already there. Time's an illusion. Everything's already there. Everything's just revealed to you. So you can just access these things at will. But can anybody do that, or do you have to evolve to a point where it's given to you as a superpower? And the universe doesn't give you specific powers unless you're on a level where you can handle that power. And I guess what I mean by this is, guys, like, if you do get this superpower and you're not ready for it, what's going to happen? You're going to abuse it. Okay, you're going to abuse it because you're going to be addicted to all these dopamine hits you get just by closing your eyes and imagining things. But what's strange is there's another thing happening with the TikTok and the social media at the moment, where everybody's just walking around a little bit like zombies, because they're constantly just picking up the phone, going on TikTok and getting these constant dopamine hits. So when they put the phone down, what's going to happen? Okay, they're going to look around and it's going to be boring because the dopamine hits on a little 6-inch screen. So they're going to be constantly picking up the phone, which is what's happening. That's why society's failing at the moment, because everybody's a drug addict. Like, everybody's literally addicted to TikTok and social media. It's the worst drug that's ever been in humanity, because it takes you away from reality. It makes you look at a little digital screen, you see. Whereas at least with other drugs, you can go out and take them and go out in physical reality and enjoy the world. Where this drug is very, very dangerous because you can't do that. So society's failing because of this drug that the elites and the rich people are enforcing on everybody, and they basically, I think they want everybody trapped because they make a lot of money from it. But that's another point. That's another conversation, guys. But basically, these people who are addicted to TikTok, etc., which is probably 90% of people in the UK right now. Everybody's walking around like zombies and they're not doing the jobs properly. That's why society's failing, because everything's boring compared to this drug that they're taking every day. So somebody like that is not going to be able to handle having this superpower where they can just access any feeling on command without a digital screen in front of them, because they're just going to be doing it constantly. Okay, like, so I've kind of worked with this for a few years now. At first I was doing it constantly. I would realize it would burn out, because if you do something constantly, it eventually burns out, and you have to go on a low for a little while. So what I've kind of incorporated in my reality is, and if any of you guys have reached this stage yet, this is a little bit of advice for you. Basically, you've got to reward yourself with it. Okay, so I'll maybe do some work for some neighbours. I'll maybe build them a fence, do some gardening for them, or I'll do some gardening for my own house, and I'll do work for a few hours, and then to reward myself, I'll probably go out, get a coffee, chill out, go and meditate somewhere, close my eyes, and then access these feelings as a reward system. It's like a dopamine reward system, because dopamine originated in the brain as a reward system for doing something good, for doing a job. Okay, so back in the day, you'd like basically go out and hunt, and you'll basically do all this work to get food, or you'll grow crops to get the food, and then the dopamine system is there as a reward. So you'll eat the food, and then you'll get this nice feeling because you've ate the food and you've done all the work for it. So when that dopamine system is kind of abused, which is what's happening now with TikTok, etc., because they've got the dopamine just on command, they've got the drug just there in the pocket, they can just pick the drug up anytime. We're just creating a nation of drug addicts, basically, which is why society is going down. Okay, and this is the difference between most people in society and the truly wise people who have realized that the dopamine system can be tapped into anytime at will without a phone, just in your pure imagination. And not only that, it's better than what the social media is showing you, because that's limited to what the external world's showing you. Whereas the internal world is unlimited. Okay, it's unlimited. You can basically imagine, do anything you want, have any feeling you want, just on command. So the kingdom of heaven is within like that. But what I'm kind of saying is, you have to be on a level where you can handle it. Otherwise, the universe wouldn't give you that power. So the power we get eventually to access any feeling on command has to be used in a correct way, so that it's not going to, first of all, it's not going to affect others. Because when you get to these levels, you don't need to affect anybody anyway, because you don't need to hurt anyone to get what you want. You don't need to go and rip somebody off to get some money to buy what you want to get this feeling, etc., 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 because it's already there. You can just tap into it any time. It's a superpower. But you have to earn this superpower. That's what I'm saying, guys. And I don't know anybody, in my neck of the woods, I don't know anybody who's got this superpower yet. Like, everybody I mention it to, they're just like, oh yeah, but they don't quite get it. They don't quite get it. And hopefully one of you guys get it. If you do, please leave some comments about how you handle this superpower and any advice for me. Because I'd like to have a conversation about this, guys, because it's not an easy thing to talk about, because nobody understands it. But eventually, if you're on a spiritual path like me, and you value truth then you will get to this level eventually. So yeah, let us know your comments on that, guys. Let us know what you think, and we'll have a conversation, me and you, because let's face it, nobody in your proximity is going to understand. Like, nobody's going to understand this power, because I don't know anybody yet, in fact, who's accessed it. See you in the next video, guys. Have a nice day.